Pinky.
And this is Priyanka.
And we're here to call out all things PakeAsPuck.
We're back.
We're back. Episode 50.
Whoa.
We've been doing this for...
We're celebrating 1 year actually next week. We had a couple skips here and there.
It's life. It's life. And if you think about it, we took 50 episodes. That's one episode a week. And we just literally took 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Which is normal.
But like life happens.
Crazy.
Not bad. I'm trying to think back at what it was.
Probably
just summertime.
Probably.
Yeah.
It usually happens whenever we're like crazy busy and our schedules don't meet up.
Yeah.
And because we've decided, this is not gonna stop being fun.
No, it should always be fun.
Yeah.
It shouldn't feel like a chore, and it's always supposed to be fun, and we keep it raw.
Yeah. That's why it keeps happening. So
I like your shirt.
Thanks. Squad goals.
That's gonna be us, dude.
Squad goals, yeah.
Just in a cul-de-sac with a bunch of homes.
Listen, I'm hoping that's the goal.
I want that. That would be so much fun.
We'll just buy barns from Menards and we can refurbish them.
My kid was talking about that.
What?
He's like, Mommy, did you know you can buy a house on Amazon?
Yeah, you can.
Right.
Just like Sears. Remember Sears used to do that?
You can get like one of those just like a life-size Lego pop-it-up type of... And I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of nice to have in the backyard, huh? And he's like, yeah, I want one.
What is he going to do?
Yeah, the 6-year-old.
I know.
Like, what the fuck? I'm like, you just want it because they set it up and all they have is snacks and video games and that's like your dream.
Right. But like who's going to have to replenish everything? The snack bitch. No. If you're going to go in your backyard, it better be for you, not for the kids.
He watches like all this like random stuff with like people just trashing their house, they put like trampolines in there or like whatever. It's like the old school, not Jackass, but
yeah, it's Jackass.
Pretty much, I guess. It's like new age Jackass. That's what he watches, and it is amusing.
Well, what is it? Wasn't it like Johnny Knoxville's one friend, the Steve, or was this one? It was one of those guys' parents that he would constantly like do dumb shit to their New Jersey house. Yeah. Like he would like wrap everything in like cellophane one time when they were gone.
I can't remember the guy's name.
You know who I'm talking about.
I do. I know who you're talking about.
And I used
to love watching those shows. It was just funny.
It was.
Old school MTV, right? But yeah, so I told him, and it was like, you realize that they don't actually live here. Like, we can't do this in our house. You got to work really hard, buy another house, and let that be your YouTube house. Yeah. And you can do whatever you want with it. I don't care if you want to do it.
Yeah.
Just find a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, how much money do I need for a house? I'm like, let's start off with $90,000 for a down payment.
he's like, oh, dang.
That's a lot of money. I'm like, I'm well aware.
You got a long time to make it up, bro. You're only 6 years old.
I fucking eat your chicken nuggets first. Like, what the hell?
He's already talking about getting his own house.
Yeah. But you know what? I think it's awesome. Yeah, I want you to dream, and I'm gonna try to help you get there.
There you go.
When we growing up, I was always, I don't know about you, but anytime I said that I wanted to do something, like if I talked about like traveling or I wanted to do something, I was told like, oh, you have such big dreams. Like it was a bad thing. Yeah,
it was. It's like, come on, relax a little.
Right. So they're constantly just kind of putting us in our place and like,
not encouraging us to dream big.
Right, and I don't want to do that. Like, I think I might need a little practice. Like, sometimes I do catch myself. I'm just like, yo, bro, for real? Yeah. But now that I am, like, thinking it through, like, we're just going to roll with it. You know, here's what you need to do. Make it happen.
Yeah. No, I used to be the same with my older son. It was like that gut reaction when he was like, I want to be a pilot. I'm like, bro, you need to know so much physics. Are you not even that smart? Like... I would want to start, but I'm like, why can't he? If this is what he really wants to do, right? And if he puts his mind to it.
You just let him know what the roadmap is. Like, okay, well, you're going to have to apply yourself in math.
Yeah. And so when the second one came, and, they're talking about at school what we want to be when we grow up, he comes home, he's like, Mom, I want to be a lifeguard. I was like, bro, you're going to have to learn how to swim so hard. Like, what are we talking? And then I went deep.
Swim so hard.
Yeah, I was like, what are we talking? Are we talking like a lifeguard at a pool or like at a country club? Or are you talking like lifeguard like Baywatch, like ocean swimming? If it's ocean swimming, you gotta start lifting now, bro. I like went all in. Yeah. And he was like, I don't know about that now.
Right, but that's the mindset.
Versus if I told my mom I wanted to be a lifeguard, she'd like, Ali, like she'd smack me upside the head.
Yeah. Lifeguard बनने के लिए अगर
Yeah.
Dr. Banana.
I know. Save lives that way. Right? Because you get more money that way. But I get it. I get it.
That's
but
still a sore subject.
it is what it is.
I was a reject.
There's no fighting it. You just take what you can get and then you roll with it, right? But yes, UK 50th episode.
Let's go into UK.
This happened. It's looking better.
So good.
This was the biggest scab that fell off last.
Okay.
And it's very itchy right now, so I've been trying to like.
I was gonna ask, like, what does it feel like?
It's very itchy.
Okay.
This part you could touch it. A majority of it.
It feels really weird. I did that day, and like it.
It's better now.
I was having some texture issues. With it.
It is. It's not as soft as like this one. It's starting to get softer. Not yet.
Creepy. Still a little creepy.
Then don't touch this part here.
It looks so good though.
Every time I drive,
and it's right on top.
Yeah. No, and I was driving on Sunday. I went to go get some wings, right? And driving home, and the sun is like pointing the right way. My hand is on the street. Yeah, and I took a picture. I was gonna show it. I wasn't gonna post it, but I'll show you maybe.
It's like when you get engaged and the light hits your ring, and you're just like, whoa.
No, but like
the highlights look so good.
I remember that feeling when you got engaged, and then you see your ring, and it looks. But this is more of like, it's so weird that my body. Or my mind was like, yeah, no problem. Do a tattoo. Let's let it go onto your hand. That's not a big thing, right? I've always admired that in other women that I've seen. Like when I've seen their hands, I've always been like, man, that's so fucking badass. And then when I did it, I was like, that was totally badass, and I'd never want to do that again.
Her eyeliner and mascara. No, you don't wear mascara, so it was all eyeliner. It was like all over her.
I had a smoky eye without trying to have a smoky eye.
When I saw you that night, I was like, yo, she got ripped a new one today.
But no, when I saw it, it was amazing to me that my body was like, let's do it on your right hand, because I'm right-handed. And so I use my dominant, so I always see it. And I'm always reminded now how much of a badass I am. Whatever, I don't feel it, so.
That's a pretty big tattoo to sit through.
I know.
In one sitting.
Yeah, especially, I need
the highlight
snacks
part,
next time.
when at first was white.
No.
And so it's just going to be like skin toned.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Bleached.
Yeah, I mean, you can still see the whites. It's not going to be just because.
It's not like she put white ink in there.
Yeah,
it's just
no.
because it was fried.
Yeah, basically. It's still shedding. It's fine. But no, it was good. It was good. Well, how did you feel? Did you feel relaxed when you got back from the UK? Outside of.
Yeah, so I came home and everything was fine. My dog wasn't eating that day that I got back. So it turned out to be okay. I was like, oh, great. You know, I was feeling a little under the weather. I think I got what Ratna had. So, like, okay. I felt a little bit like on Thursday. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm starting to come down with something. Well, it turns out my dog decided to go on a hunger strike. And within days, we knew that she had a tumor and is likely not going to be with us for a while. So I am past the crying phase for the moment. That's why I'm coming off very, like,
we've dealt with
stoic.
It. Yeah, we've dealt with it.
But last week was last week, and so that's what we're dealing with now. But yeah, I did come back, like, just feeling good.
Yeah.
Until the stress hit.
Until the stress. It's always that way. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't, are you really a parent?
No, you're like, not. You have to learn to, like,
not even that,
live
like,
around it.
Not even parent, but, like, if you don't feel a little bit of stress when you come back to your normal life, real life, everyday life, then are you even responsible for more than just yourself?
Right.
Like, if you're only responsible for yourself, you won't have a problem.
And then there's the other side of it, though, too. Like, when, like, I have single friends, obviously, and, like, when they come back from a trip, they go through, like, a phase of isolation. Like, you come back, relax, sure, but then you're going back to that home by yourself. And, like, you can enjoy that for a little while, but then it hits again. It's like, shit. I'm going home to an empty house.
Yeah, especially when you're with people. Yeah.
Yeah. It can be really lonely.
I mean, I have the opposite, right? Like, my normal life is a house full of people. Mm-hmm. So I relish when I go home, when I go away, and there's
quiet.
The quiet. It's just the quiet. Like, I've told Uber drivers sometimes, I'm like, can we just... Not you. You'll still get 5 stars, bro. But, like, I don't want to talk right now.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just not trying to engage in conversation.
Yeah. No, it was fun. A lot of lessons learned. A lot of lessons learned for me. But that's my MO. Like, I do something and then I figure out what needs to be better. Because my thing is, yes, we can research and we can research and we can research.
But until you're in it, you're never going to know.
Yeah, and you can't, like, my brain doesn't plan for every contingency. Like, I'm not going to have plans A through Z because, that's like too much brain power that I'm wasting on that. So I was like, we'll deal with it when we get there. But it was good.
Yeah, it worked out. Good.
I had fun. It was good. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I could tell when you were stressed out. So Pinky needs to have like data on her phone. You talked about this a little bit like on Instagram or in stories or whatever. She needs to have control over traveling.
Well, not just, I need to know where I'm going. And if that's a map, then that's fine. It doesn't necessarily need to be digital. Mm-hmm. And so that's one thing I learned about myself, that I'm definitely like gonna, look up where I'm staying and then just print out a map for myself so I can have it with me before I leave home.
Okay.
And I think that would have absolved a lot of my own stress, like if I had the maps with me. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not going to blame anybody but myself for that.
No. We're not talking about like blaming anybody.
No,
like,
yeah.
Even when we're like, okay, it's going to take us like, it's a 15-minute walk or whatever, it's a 20-minute walk, and we're making those decisions at the hotel, like I still think that even though you knew that it was being taken care of, I still think that you're the type of person that just needs to have the control.
Yeah.
Because you need to physically see it for yourself.
I might not say anything, but I just need to make sure we're staying on track.
Yeah, like even if she's in the Uber and she called the Uber and told them what hotel or wherever we needed to go. And this isn't like obviously London related. I'm just trying to like draw a parallel.
Yeah.
That like you could call a cab or an Uber or whatever, and you can see on their phone that he's following the path, but you'll still need to pull it up on your own Google Maps to make sure that we're going in the most efficient way.
Yeah. No, because the thing is, the tech, like, and the Uber thing for sure. I started doing that because I noticed the taxis, when I take taxis at home to and from the house to the airport. First of all, I don't pick the same driver because I haven't found one that I drive with. So until I do, I have to test all of them out, right? And second of all, they never go the same fucking way, both like to and from, and it
you
drives
know
me
how
crazy.
to get there,
yes.
You're like, where are you going?
And I've had it happen one time, and it was when I started traveling by myself. It was recently. I didn't even tell you about it. I was coming home from Midway. It was dark, and so I was in a taxi, right, sitting in the back. This bro, he's like not even. I'm watching his GPS from where I'm sitting. I'm watching his GPS, and he is literally passing the turns. And I was like,
freak me out.
Yeah, and like the first thing was, we're stopped at a red, and it's green, and he doesn't go. And I gave him, like, in my brain, I counted to 5. I didn't want to be one of those, like knee-jerk reaction assholes, right? And so I was like, sir, it's green! And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I was like, okay. And then he's explaining his situation. And I was like, I get it that there was a tragedy in your life right now. However, you're at work, and if you can't fully function at work, then you should have told your boss that you can't do this. Because now you're putting somebody else in danger. I don't know if you're kidnapping me or if you're just really that traumatized right now.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like on the phone texting my husband because I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I love you guys.
That's scary.
That's so since then I've been a little bit more diligent with the following. And like the whole thing of like, I definitely want to know which way we're going so that if we're going the wrong way, I can catch it before it gets too bad.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. Like, it's not because I want to tell you how to do, because a lot of people, when, not you specifically, but when someone is described as controlling, it's thought of as a negative thing. People put emotion behind it.
Micromanaging, and we also associate that with a lot of like past things that we've dealt with.
Like we put the emotion behind the word, right? Humans are what puts emotion behind the word.
I wouldn't say you're controlling. I just think that you're the type of person that needs to be in control.
Yeah.
And there's a difference in that.
Yeah. That's
okay. You can either allow for that or you can take it personally. That's not controlling.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, it's fine. It's what it is. But when I can't do anything, then I can't really like participate in also helping out.
Yeah.
Right? Which that's the other half.
I always joke that like whenever I'm with Pinky, I just turn my brain off. Like I won't even like look both ways before I cross the street.
No, she doesn't.
Because Pinky likes to be in control, so she saves my ass, you know?
But in the UK, I was like, I don't want to do anything.
You don't want to do it, but it is in your blood to do it.
But
I know that you don't want to do it.
I know.
I know. You can't not do it though. It's ingrained. It's just in you. She's still getting my utensils. And I let her because deep down in her heart, she wants to do that for me.
There you go. I just want to make sure that you have all of your cutlery that you need.
And napkins. You're always handing me a napkin.
Because you're always fucking dropping shit. You're a messy ass eater, and I'm trying to help you.
I put on a sweater today, so I went to go get my hair cut.
It was beautiful.
Thank you. So I got dressed. I put on like a sweater because like my sweaters actually button up now. I don't just have to wear them as an open front.
Hell yeah.
So I put the sweater on, and like 3 minutes before I had to leave the door, I got marinara on it.
Ow!
I was making my kid lunch, and for some reason it got on my shirt.
Well, and
so I tried so hard. I like slid the napkin underneath the marinara because it was a sweater, so it was sitting like right on top of the fibers. And I was like, maybe I could just like scoop it up above, you know, and it doesn't penetrate the sauce.
It didn't work.
No, my fucking nails, dude. I couldn't get the right angle. And then I like accidentally smushed it, and then the stain set, you know, into it. So,
but thank you.
Like if I want to get before and afters, I gotta put on a clean shirt.
Then you do.
I don't have hair anymore that's gonna cover it.
That's true. That's true. What are we gonna do?
Do you like it?
I do. Do you like it?
I do.
Yeah.
It feels so much lighter. Because
you don't wear it up, so yeah.
When she chopped it off, she had me feel like the ends that were cut, and then like the longer the end. And she's like, "Look how much thinner your hair is at the bottom." I'm like, I know. That's why I needed to cut it because it was just like getting stringy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, as much as I love the length, if it doesn't have like that fullness at the end, it just looks ratty.
Rat's tail, yeah. I need to get mine, like I said, and I need to cut at least this much off.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. I cut off like a good 4 to 5 inches.
They always look at me like, "Are you sure? That's a lot." I'm like, "No,
But it'll grow back.
Take my hand and put it in my hair.
That's the size.
That's how much I want you to take off." Like, but are you positive? Yeah, it's gonna come back. Believe me, I'm Indian.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I'm like, even if you have to go a little bit shorter, that's fine. Just make it look cute. And she's like, "Wow, you're like so." I'm like, I'm not gonna cry about it. It'll grow back.
It's hair. It's just like, yeah.
And if it doesn't, it looks cute like this. So I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
If it doesn't, we got wigs. I got a couple. Then you can dye your hair every week.
The Super Bowl.
This fucking Super Bowl. So after the first half, right? I forced so people watch, a majority of people that are not football fanatics, just everyday lay people. They watch everyday lay people. They watch the Super Bowl for first for the halftime show, second is for the commercials, and third is the game. Everyday lay people. I'm not talking about football fans, right? The ones that are football fans, obviously the game and then whatever, right? And so I went in I was like, all right, let's take a look at the commercials. Right.
Halftime.
Commercials were shit. There was only one commercial that was good, and that was to get women to go do their breast exams.
There's people that like watch the commercials and walk away during the game, and then there's people like me that watch the game and walk away during the commercials.
I sat through the whole entire thing.
Wow.
I did, and it's not that I don't. I like football more than I like baseball. It's a faster moving game.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand all of it. I just pretend I don't so that people don't talk to me about it. Because I'm like, I enjoy it, but I don't need you. And if someone says, "What's your favorite team?" I'll throw a team out there. They're like, "Oh yeah, well, name all of the players." I'm like, fuck you.
There's like understanding the game that you're watching, and then like being one of those like gym bro type.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like throwing out stats all day long. Like just shut the fuck up.
It was so underwhelming. As somebody who's not like an avid, like, I'm gonna watch football every week, but if it's on, I'll watch it. Like when I'm in, at the gate or my cousin's house or whatever. But I was just like, I thought the Chiefs were like this big ass entity. So why didn't you come out? Like you did nothing the first half.
It could have been a little bit more exciting if you were a little more emotionally involved against
for the Eagles. Yeah.
So then it could have been really exciting.
No, I was for neither.
I was loving it.
I was for neither. I don't know, because whatever. But I was just like, you guys say, you're supposed to be the best thing. You're gonna make history. How about we don't make history and become jackasses? Because you already are acting like jackasses. Like. You're not appreciating this.
I appreciate a good team, and if they're winning, you know, if you're getting like back-to-back Super Bowl wins, good for you. That's fantastic. Like, I'm gonna hype you up. But and it goes with like anybody. If you let it get to your head and you become a pompous, arrogant...
Yeah, look at the New England Patriots.
Right.
Like, come on,
your
man.
attitude then is not justified by how many rings you're wearing.
No.
And I think that...
And let me tell you, your rings are ugly, okay? Your fucking rings.
So, like, let's just take Pinky for example, right? Pinky for a long time refused to accept that she's now a celebrity.
Sure.
Still, she has a hard time, right? But, like, I can tell you as her friend and somebody that sees her on a weekly basis.
Weekly.
I went from seeing her on a day-to-day basis to, like, a weekly basis pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Her personality has not changed.
No.
If anything, she's just, like, slowly starting to accept that, like, I do have some, like, social responsibility based off of the lifestyle that has now become what is Pinky Patel official, right?
Right.
So, now, am I comparing you to, like, football player celebrity? No, but just conceptually,
in the public eye.
It's like, if you're winning, that's awesome for you. And we want that for you. Until you become a jackass. Then we just think you're annoying.
Yeah, like, stay humble. That's what it is. Stay humble. Like,
be humble.
Like, if you were appreciative of the fact that you won, like 5 years ago, you were the underdog, right? And so you won 5 years ago, and then you won last year, and then you know, oh my God, three Super Bowls within 5 years. Oh my God, excellent. You could have made history, and I would have wanted you to make history if you were at least humble about the fact that you had gone to the Super Bowl. Like, whenever you take for granted that, and I hated this about the New England Patriots when they went to Super Bowl every time. I hated it about the Yankees every time they got to the World Series. I was like, fuck you guys. Like, you know, you don't even deserve it at this point. Like, I can guarantee you're just buying your way into that championship. You know, and I'm not even an avid fan, right? And so after that, and then, like I said, I stayed for the performance because that's all I stay for all the time, right? Like, obviously I want to be there for the performance.
Yeah.
And yes, I only know like one or two of Kendrick Lamar's songs, and I love the performance. And the third quarter started, and again, not, like, the fourth touchdown in a row, and then all of these fucking touchdowns happen. And it's like, the fucking, like, Eagles didn't even anticipate, they like went to the Super Bowl. They didn't even go prepared, okay? Like, if you go to the Super Bowl prepared, you should have had at least a week's worth of sessions with your fucking cheerleaders to learn how to do touchdown dances. There was no touchdown dances.
Do you remember the last time the Bears went to the Super Bowl and what happened?
No!
So if you're talking about being underprepared,
yeah, well.
Devin Hester ran it back within like the first 10 seconds of the game, and then they had their asses handed to them. So talk about embarrassing.
I know, but I'm just saying. You could have anticipated the moves, man.
I think it was very entertaining to watch. Because that's what I wanted. Did you see the TikTok about that lady that sat there with, what are those called? The pins.
Yeah, the voodoo dolls?
The voodoo dolls. She had a Mahomes voodoo doll. She just sat there, kept staring.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, the fuck?
I mean, it happened. It happened. But so you know, as the game was progressing and the commercials were coming on, I was like putting stuff up on Threads, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, you have to put stuff that's gonna evoke emotions because there's monetary payout for me at the end of Threads.
Okay.
And so
I'm not on Threads. What'd you say?
Right. So all I wrote was, after that fourth touchdown, all I wrote was, that was underwhelming. ... Everybody in the comments assumed I was talking about the halftime show. I was like, first of all, I wrote that was underwhelming, and then I went, because I wrote it, like I said, as soon as they sent the fucking, like the fourth touchdown in the third quarter, I was like, I'm done. I turned it off and I went to sleep.
Aww.
I was like, this is like, you're not even fucking trying for your chip. Like, you could have broke history right now, but you took it for granted. Like, bro didn't even have a backup outfit for when he left as a loser. Okay, he had to walk out in his New Orleans sequins t-shirt.
It's okay.
Lesson learned, bitch.
So people thought you were talking about the Super Bowl, the
halftime
show.
And I was like, you guys are.
But you wanted that to happen though, because you left it ambiguous on purpose.
On purpose. The ones that know me, they were like, "This was funny," and I was like, "Yes, I was fucking talking about the game." The fact that it was like it didn't even look like you tried.
What did people say about the halftime show?
They loved it.
Yeah.
A majority of people, they're like...
No, but what were they saying when you said it was underwhelming? Like, how did they attack you?
Oh, I mean, I could show it to you, but it was a majority of what was underwhelming. Say it. And I posted that and went to sleep.
Always on the attack. Dude.
Yeah.
So dumb.
And so I went in the next day and I wrote, as a comment, I wrote, my original post didn't specify what I was talking about when I said that was underwhelming. I was talking about the actual game. And then I did another thread to actually tell people I was talking about the game because they're fucking morons.
They're
and I replied
attacking.
To every comment. I replied, I was referring to the game.
I can't believe you do that.
Well, there wasn't a lot, but I was like, I was referring to the game.
Third quarter.
Yeah, like what do you?
They take it so personally.
So personally, like
personally.
I'm like, with all this jumping to conclusions you do, your legs should be better than mine.
There's jumping into conclusions, just like everybody jumped to conclusions about the performance. Like, did you get the symbolism? You either got the symbolism or you didn't.
Oh my god, I don't want to see another fucking video from people who think they're being such good advocates for the community. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're not.
If you're gonna go and throw shade at people that didn't pick up on any of that, not everybody is artistically trained to constantly look for symbolism. Some people are literally just sitting there looking to be entertained.
And also, not everybody's familiar with every one of his songs.
Well,
and how is that the fault of somebody who doesn't understand it?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, how are you gonna sit there and just shit on people?
I don't. That's what I don't understand.
When you're trying to tell people to not shit on people.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's just dumb.
Everybody in that comment section, like, say it.
Attack.
Somebody was like, somebody named Gentle Bile Patel or something. I don't know, some bullshit in her name.
So not gentle about shit.
Yeah, she was like, you need to take this down. And I was like, why? I was talking about the game.
And are you not allowed to have an opinion? It was underwhelming for you.
I didn't say it was shitty.
But whatever it was underwhelming because you went in with different expectations.
For the game, yeah.
Right.
And
you're allowed to feel that.
Yeah, I don't understand why people...
How can we be in a culture that's like all about validating and they don't fucking validate?
Yeah. As soon as somebody has... That's
it's
the
problem, B, if you don't agree with them.
Right. And that's what I don't understand. Every time I'm on, like, and half of my job being social media, it boggles my mind how everybody wants, like, inclusivity and, like, they want to make sure that everybody's accounted for in all places on earth and space and time and across nations and everything. Right? Like, everything, yeah, right? Everything. But then when somebody has... But then when somebody has an opposing, opinion... that has nothing, like,
we just can't be friends.
Right.
We're going to have to...
Wow, I didn't know this is the type of person you were. Unfollow. I was like, this is not a fucking airport. You don't need to announce your departure. Just get the fuck out of here, man. Like, why can't... Like, if you're not a fan of, let's say, Beyonce, of Rihanna, right? Who was last year? Or the year before? One was Rihanna. Wasn't she like 2 years ago?
Last year.
Was she last year? Okay, right.
Was it Snoop Dogg last year? And then, no, I think it was Rihanna last year. Snoop Dogg was the year before.
Yeah, whatever. And then the year before there was like the 90s rapper, R&B and rap together. It was like Eminem, everybody came out. Like Dr. Dre and all that.
That was with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, that was... So, but what I'm saying is like, okay, what if you don't know any of Rihanna's songs? And you say, well, you know, it was nice. I enjoyed it. That's it.
Right, like they're just watching... It's okay to just watch something for the sake of entertainment, and you can either be entertained by it, or you're not entertained by it.
Like, I don't know why she picked red and white for her backup dancers. I didn't know that symbolized, like...
Anytime somebody wears red, it's a satanic dance.
Apparently. I'm just like, what if she just really likes the color red? Like, it resonates with her.
It looks really good on her.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I look at, like, I don't...
There's always red, though. I think, like, red, white, and blue is pretty symbolic throughout all of the shows.
Yeah.
Like, Snoop Dogg wore blue.
Well, it has to be. Because football is an American sport. So.
Right, but so, those colors are just always being used.
Right, and I'm just... But I don't understand why... if somebody didn't understand the symbolism behind Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance, how come that makes them a bad person?
Because not everybody is sitting down looking for that. Like, okay, you want to deconstruct it after the fact? Fine. But if you either got it or you didn't.
Within
There's two types of people in this world.
Yeah. I'm like, what is that? and the people that are jumping on this bandwagon And like, this is, I'm an English teacher, and I read into the symbolism of his performance, and this is what it meant. It's like, are you fucking for real right now? You're jumping on this bandwagon because you don't have...
I quite honestly think that a lot of it is just for the sake of creating content.
Yeah, and I fucking hate that.
So if you look at, I'm gonna shit on creators.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop you.
Were you sitting there watching the game for the sake of watching the game? Were you watching Kendrick Lamar's performance because it was a part of the game, whatever, like, are you just sitting there watching it, or are you watching everything and is your mind jogging to say, how am I going to create my next video off of this? Right? And then of course you got to jump on it right away, and you got to put it out right away.
Yeah. Because if
how
you don't...
many people created videos, created content
about the Super Bowl
and
the halftime show,
seconds of it happening? So
specifically the halftime show.
Why are you taking away from just sitting on your ass on a Sunday night
and enjoying it with your friends and family?
You're given this opportunity to just sit back and watch. We talked about this. We were like, the day after the Super Bowl needs to be a national holiday. Like, fuck President's Day.
Yeah, right?
Make the day after the Super Bowl a day off, because everyone has a late night. Sometimes you are, like, more emotionally involved in the game.
Well, did you know the Super Bowl Sunday is the second busiest day at the grocery store, the first being the Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, because people are getting together.
Yeah. But it's as big as Thanksgiving here in America. This is a lot.
It's literally called the big game.
Right. Like, the whole entire time, and I'm sorry if this, I'm sorry if this offends anybody. I really am. However, I couldn't understand half of the things that Kendrick Lamar was saying because I watch things with subtitles. You know this. Heavily.
I wasn't even watching the performance like that. I was kind of just like, okay, like, I listened to the songs.
I was listening for the songs that I know. And then I was like, where did bro get his pants from? Like, those were the two things that I was thinking about.
The fucking
I was like, his pants look really good on it.
I liked his jacket.
I mean, his jacket was nice too.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean...
I'm not looking at it like that.
I was looking at it as entertainment.
But according to a ton of creators, that makes me like a really shitty citizen.
Me too.
Whatever.
I'm a horrible human being. I steal puppies and kill them.
But it's like the content creators and the consumers that you always mention. I think a lot of these people were they were viewing the game from a very opportunistic lens.
Let's see how much content we can make out of it.
And
that's coast.
That's honestly, that sucks for you.
That means you have nothing else in your life to talk about. And it's fine. It's fine that you're boring. That's not anybody's fault, but we're all boring at some point or another. I'm boring when I'm at home.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, why are you ashamed of being boring?
I just think it's pathetic that they're shitting on people for it.
That doesn't go with the whole inclusivity, let's accept all avenues. Like, you want me to accept...
I understand it. Like, when I was, like, looking back at everything, I was like, oh, damn, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, in retrospect, as I'm, like, kind of going through the tapes, I was like, oh, damn, that's really awesome. So great. I'm glad some people took the time to deconstruct it, but the messaging behind you either got it or you don't, and I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you're one of two people. You either got it or you didn't. And I think you're creating a lot of isolation with that narrative.
You're creating divide.
And it goes completely against what you promote in other avenues.
Yeah, you're creating a divide by singling out people who didn't get it instead of helping them get it.
I'm always a beat behind. It's all good.
Like, no, in all honesty, we should be, yes, let's locate the people that don't get it, right? But then
just have a healthy conversation about it.
But then help educate them on what the importance of it is, right? And a lot of people don't want to spend the time to do that. They don't want to educate somebody else in being like, no, you have to take a look at A, B, C, and D. Yeah. Like, I asked my niece, right? I was back home, East Coast, and so we were talking about it, and she was like, it's gonna be really bad if, like, Beyonce doesn't come out in the beginning, and if he doesn't sing this song and that song, and blah blah blah. Like, she's really into it. She loves Kendrick Lamar, and I wanted to ask her how she probably loved
Beyonce to come out.
She thought, she was like, Beyonce just won, and it would be so symbolic and so, like, powerful, the message and blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh man, I hope he really doesn't fuck up for people like her. people that are looking for him to give this message, right? And when I saw it, like, yes, you know, yes, I saw it, right? And I was happy about it because he used his platform
to do good.
To do good.
Right.
Like he knew this was going to be the single most viewed event across this world now. 100 and how many?
He did two things though. So this is the other side of it. Like, again, it kind of goes back to a lot of the creating divide aspect of it.
Yeah.
So, one, you had a platform and you did tie in a lot of these national discussions that are happening. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that.
Yep.
Especially in retrospect, as I'm seeing a lot of the content and I'm going back and like trying to understand what he was trying to do, I'm not artistically looking at shit like that.
Yeah.
I was honestly just watching it for entertainment, and then afterwards I was like, oh shit, that's pretty awesome. But the other side of it was his jab at Drake. Like,
oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So everyone...
So when Serena Williams came out, I was like, oh dang.
Now it's funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I'm not going to lie. It is funny.
Especially
But again, for a group of people that's trying to unite, how are you going to go back to high school like drama and not let shit go? And just keep egging on pettiness.
Like, I don't understand what their beef is.
That's so immature. I don't know what the whole beef is. I get that they have beef.
Do they even know what their beef
Kendrick
is?
Lamar shut it down. Good for you. That's awesome. It is funny. What he did, it's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Right.
Like, he looked at the camera and called him out.
So good.
Yeah. But
again, if we're hyping this up, once again, you're stuck in high school, bitches.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what part of the halftime performance are you hyping up? The part where we the symbolism.
They contradict each other.
Right. Like, there's a personal jab in there, but instead of, and that's fine. That's his prerogative as an artist. He can do what he wants. That's his time on the stage, right? Just like I do I say what I want on the stage.
Right.
However, for the people who are now the social media warriors, why are you like, hey bro, good job. That's like, okay, let's comment on it, but we don't need to draw it out. You know, like, let's take the bigger picture of the halftime performance and let's keep promoting that. Let's keep resharing that. In
a kind way, just educate other people. Like, hey, just so you know, like, when he did this is what I think he meant by it.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't have to go and like shit on other people that didn't pick up on it right off the bat.
I think the reason why they and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. The reason why I think a lot of people shit on and use the whole you either get it or you don't. And this is coming from people who are authentically saying it, not the ones that are on the bandwagon. You can differentiate between the two, right? The ones that are authentically saying it. They're saying that is their final defenses because they're so tired of explaining stuff to people like us who don't see it readily like they do. And I get how frustrating that is for them, but you have to have the same life experiences.
Right.
You have to have the same...
You're not going to pick up on it if you haven't lived through it.
Right. And I'm sorry that I didn't. And I'm sorry that I didn't pick up on it as quickly as the next person did or the previous person did.
And we can live in ignorance or we can understand what they're trying to explain to us.
Right. That's all I'm saying. It's like, look at the audience that's asking you. Look at the audience that's saying it. Right? Like, you know, like I said, I love his songs. I couldn't understand some of the words just because he was going fast. And I'm fucking 44 years old. Like, I need subtitles, okay? I've been using subtitles for the past 18 goddamn years on my screens.
Right.
Like,
there's nothing wrong with that. It's also, it's not necessarily your genre.
Right. And so what? But I enjoyed it. I was like, you know, when the songs that I knew came out, I was like, oh yeah, I know this one. And I'm like, you know, me and roomie number 3 are jamming. We're watching, you know, we're like watching the commercials, we're watching, and he's like, Mom, you didn't tell me it was a touchdown. Like, we're having our moments, you know?
But that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like, sometimes people just take it too far.
Always.
And I'm just like, what do you get out of this? Like, aren't you tired?
It's literally just supposed to be another night to bring people together.
Like, but it's so exhausting being such a vigilante. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, aren't you tired? Like, aren't you tired of being such a social justice warrior behind the screen? Like, are you doing anything in front of the screen? Are you, you know, like, I see this passion that you have in this one 60-second video that you posted the day after the Super Bowl, but, like, are you going to go out there and rah rah and advocate and protest for the cause as well? No. That's where it ends. Like, if your social justice warriorism ends on social media, then shut the fuck up. Like, what are you doing outside of that?
I just got annoyed of it.
Oh.
Like, you lost me. I was kind of just like, okay, you're just preaching again and shitting on people.
All right. Leave your questions, comments, all that BS down below. We will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.